Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Carter Hour. I'm sitting in the back seat of the Mercury here, and I had a request by a subscriber that has a Crown Victoria, and he looked at an old video of mine years ago, or that I made years ago, but he looked at it recently, and he wanted to know how to properly put in an overhead console in his Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. Well, yes, this is possible. There's a few things you need, like I was explaining in the comments. So I'm going to do a video for you, and hopefully this video will find you, and it will help you achieve your goal. So I did this in my 2003 Mercury Grand Marquis. This is my 2006. I no longer own the 2003 Mercury because I traded it in towards my 2012 Impala, which I no longer have either. I have the, what you can see is the 2015 sitting over there. So this is I'm sitting in the back seat right now of the 2006, and I've done some modifications. I put the you probably recognize that radio from one of my older videos from my Impala, my 2012. Stuck that in here, and this is a well-equipped Grand Marquis. This is the Ultimate Edition. This is a true Ultimate Edition. You buy one from 2008, 2009, 10, and 11. It's just a LS with an Ultimate Edition badge. It does not come with any of the features that this one came with. This one's actually got really rare features like heated seats in the front, and it's got the wood grain steering wheel with the audio controls and the cruise controls. In 2005, they switched over to that steering column, so they took a few buttons away for the temperature control. Or no, actually, I take that back. For the fan control, it does have temperature control on the steering wheel, which is pretty cool. But it does not have the fan control, which I wish it did, but no big deal. And it's also got the audiophile system, and which is an Alpine audiophile system, believe it or not. And it's got the Alpine power pack, and I replaced all the speakers, but I think I might revise the speakers later on here. But anyways, let's get back to the problem at hand here. He wants to put in an overhead console. Okay, this is an LS Mercury Grand Marquis. This came standard with the console because it's an LS model. GS models don't come with that. I put one in my GS 2003 Grand Marquis, and I did it with, there's a bracket actually up above the headliner here, and it actually clips into there. But I did it in such a way that I cut a hole in my headliner in my 2003, just enough for everything to come through, and to it's actually got snap rings, and then it's got a screw in the front. So basically I cut a hole in the headliner. I pulled the headliner down just enough to slip that behind, I had to take the mirror off, but I changed it out for an auto dimming one anyways, because that harness also has the auto dimming mirror feature on it too. So this harness controls that, and it also controls the auto dimming mirror. So I took the mirror off, and I pulled the headliner down. I had to unscrew the sun visor brackets. And the problem is you're going to run into when you put an overhead console, which I didn't explain in my comment, is these are actually shorter sun visors than the ones that come in the GS. The ones that come in the GS are longer. So I never replaced them in my 03, so they would just bump into this console, which wasn't a big deal, but that was on my list of things to do, and I never did. So I got the bracket, slipped it in there, I had the overhead console, and you cannot use a console from a town car, so just keep that in mind. Just get one from a Marauder or from a newer Grand Marquis. That'll work just fine. What I also advised my subscriber to do was get the donor harness. Don't mess around with the wires, because there's several wires in there, and it's a pain in the butt when you don't have a donor harness. And the donor harness is just, it's one harness that what it does, it actually comes across here, and I'm trying to do this with light. Hold on, I'm gonna turn it. Oh, that's a little bit better. So this will give us a little more perspective. So what I did after I slipped in the plane and the bracket in the back is I got the donor harness from Marauder. Okay, so that harness comes across here and goes down into the C-pillar portion in the back seat. And in here, there's a plug, and I'll demonstrate for you right now. It's really easy to pull this apart. So, and then you just grab it from the top and carefully just yank on it. Okay, I'm doing this late at night, so back here is where that donor harness comes. See right here? And this unplugs right here. So all Crown Victorias and all Grand Marquis have the same plug, and no matter if it's a police Interceptor, no matter if it's a Grand Marquis GS, no matter if it's a Crown Victoria base model, no matter what, you will have this harness with a full set of wires down here. Might not have a full set of wires up here, but it'll have a full set of wires down here. Now, also, here's the integrated antenna, and here's the integrated antenna for the rear window if you don't have an antenna on the outside, which they only did that in 2005. So I don't know what the heck this is, though. I think that's something to do with I don't know. I don't know exactly what that is. I'll have to find out. Anyways, getting back to this. This is a separate harness. This goes to that front console. This controls the front console. It gives its light power, so when you open the door, it triggers the lights on the console. It also does the home link. Well, it's just got a standard power. And then it also controls the auto dimming mirror. Okay, so basically your auto dimming mirror, when you throw the car into reverse, it pushes a positive up to here, and it sends it to the mirror, and it says, okay, dim now when you put it in reverse, or if the sensor on the mirror itself senses it's dusk out and there's light behind you. So you're going to have this plug on a basic model too. And what's going to happen is, in the basic model, you're going to have a light up here in the middle of the car. You won't have this light back here. That's an LS feature, or a Crown Victoria LX feature. You can add that too. But you'll have one light here with two map lights. I think that's the way in the police Interceptor as well. I think they have the standard light. You'll have that, and that harness will come down here and plug in here. And what I did in my 2003 was I unplugged the original harness. I brought the new harness like this over, plugged it in, tested everything to make sure it worked, and now the lights went out. So I plugged in everything here, and then I stripped back some of the coating on the wire, and I tapped in the old harness that was original to the car to this new harness on the particular wires. And what's neat about this is you strip this back and you have the old harness coming down here. You just color code match those wires and you're good to go. They're going to be the same color. So and once I got done tying all that in, this light worked up there, those lights worked there, and I could still turn them on, turn them off. And then I had the auto dimming mirror, which I added as well. So just go out to the junkyard, harvest yourself some parts from a 2003 or greater Mercury Grand Marquis LS or Crown Victoria LX. And you know, the harness will either run across like this or it'll run this way. Now you're probably going to ask me, well, how did I run it across here? I didn't run it across there. What I did was before I forget, that harness also includes the lighted visors, so you can it'll come with two plugs for the lighted visors as well. So that harness doesn't just do the console, it doesn't just do the automatic mirror, but it does the lighted visors as well. So you'll have a bunch of different wires off that harness that you'll be able to utilize. And once you do this mod, you'll be able to actually add a few things. So what I would recommend doing is when you pull your parts from your donor car, pull the visors too. And I would try to find, you know, the color that matches your interior. If you don't care, then just I would pull those, and then you just it looks like it's stock. Is what I'm getting to. So how I ran the harness is I took it up from back here, and I ran it just along here and all the way up until it ended, and then I just ran it across here, and there was enough harness to do that. So it wasn't a big deal. It worked out fine. It worked for many years. I sold a car that way, and that's all you got to do. So my suggestion is you pick up this exact harness right here, and I don't know if there's a part number on here. Well, how about that? Here's your part number. This is the harness you need. You need a 5W7T 14334 or 14334 G281T, and that will be your harness for your console, your auto dimming mirror, and your lighted sun visors. I hope that helped you, and I hope that helps anybody else looking to kind of convert their Crown Victoria or Police Interceptor. But you'll have that plug in there. You'll have this piece, and you'll have the same plug, and just might have just 1, 2, or 3 wires coming into it instead of this bulk of 8 or 9 wires that come into that. So let me go ahead and snap this back into place here. And be careful when you're snapping this back in place. See these plastic things? If you don't line them up, you mash them in, and then trouble starts. So I'm trying to do this one-handed. And it can be a royal pain in the ass to get all this stuff back together. Just make sure that you get your rubber here out of the way. And then you'll have one clip up there, one clip in there you need to snap in, and I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So let's see if we can get, that's 1 and 2, and it's back to normal. And then what I do is I take my rubber seal here, go back around the door, and like that, it's like new again. So, all right. Well, hopefully that helped you put this video together. It should be up by the morning, and it's another late night blog, I guess. So hopefully that helps you out. If you have any other further questions, please feel free to comment. I'll try to help you as much as I can. I don't know the number of the bracket that goes up there, you know, up top of the console. But when you go to pick apart, just look for that bracket up there. That's the one you need for the short one. For a couple of years, I actually had a long harness, or long, what do you call it, long console that came out to here for sunglass storage, but and extra lights. but they did away with that. So, all right, in the 2006 Mercury for another mod advisory video, I guess you would call it. All right, talk to you guys later.